and sit down.
Alright. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of More Content Talk. That's the only show that cuts through all the glam, the glitz, and all the bullshit to bring you the truthiest news that we can find. I just got the news today. I got the news that there are more jobs than there are people willing to work them. There are now more jobs than there were before the pandemic that are available, but people don't seem to want these jobs for some odd reason. Now, I don't know why this could be. I haven't the faintest clue, but some of the geniuses over at the Alphabet Soup networks, they thought maybe it had something to do with the stimulus check. Maybe it was the stimulus check that you can only pay a few months' rent on that made people decide not to go work. Maybe that's what it was. I think that's what it was, don't you? And those generous unemployment benefits. What are we going to do now? How are we going to spread disease now? What are we going to do? And I know, you're people are getting the vaccine. Yeah, not enough. That's official now, by the way. And granted, it was an overestimate on the one show I did about it. It's not 50%. It's more like 65% are going to get it, leaving another group. I think in the whole grouping, it would be about 65% vaccinated, which is not enough to achieve herd immunity, like I predicted. So when you're going to work, just be well aware of that this whole vaccine smokescreen. Of course the vaccines work, but not enough people have taken them. So you're still very susceptible to coronavirus. Now, what could it be that's keeping people away? Because, like I said, the Alphabet Soup people believe it's the stimulus, the evil stimulus money, that happens to be more than they pay their workers, which of course is their fault. Because remember that these so-called mom and pop stores, a lot of them are just, subsidiaries of larger companies. So they're not really mom and pop stores. They're just using the guise of mom and pop stores to make you feel sorry for them, make you feel sorry that the little slaves aren't coming in working for them. Which oftentimes, these people have staff. They want more because they want to expand, right? And this is a good time for a lot of these companies to invest in expansion and things that they normally wouldn't be able to do. So they're looking to bring in people from different work pools, but the people want to go back to their old jobs, number one, which is obvious. Like, why would you waste all your fucking time in your life studying something and then not do it? And then they want to go back to their old jobs safely. And God forbid that in this country anyone want to be safe or, proactive. Because that's not allowed. You can't do that. And, you get in trouble, messing around. So we're all supposed to run and get these wonderful jobs that places like Amazon are offering, which, Amazon pays $15 an hour. Okay. They just raised their wage level to that. So that's $15 an hour that Amazon pays. I repeat, $15 an hour to work in a huge warehouse where people say they walk, sometimes like 100 miles a day. Or like 70 to 150 to 100 miles a day to transport packages, which is all timed. So you have to do it in a certain amount of time. So much so that people don't have time to use the bathroom. And they end up holding it until lunch. And so this is the entrepreneurship that you're encouraging, right? These are the jobs that you want people to get. And of course, there's a lot of grocery store work available. So, and then, a lot of the hospitality and things like that is reopening. And people can travel again and spread their germs. And so we're all supposed to go off to these jobs and die. And that's what is really the end game for these people to me. I don't think we're useful to them in any way, but we're a good stepping stone to the next place they want to be. And they want us to come in and die for them so that they can forge some new idiotic idea that will crash the economy again in the next 10 years. And I'm just not down for it. I don't care what your idea is. I don't care what your brilliant, I don't know, philosophy you splooged, when you got up in the morning and decided you were going to change the world today. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about your company? Let your company go out of business. That's what I think. If you really want me to be completely honest, especially these larger companies, I'm glad that some of these larger companies have failed. They have not brought anything good to the community. They've ruined communities everywhere they've gone. Yeah, I hear you. Walmart decided to give someone some benefits sometime. I don't really give a fuck. It's too little. It's too late. They've run out all kinds of all these mom and pop stores that they're saying that they are, and they've rebranded and painted themselves as a more, we're a fun place to work. Every stupid corporation has that one informational instruction video on how fun it is to work here. And we're so super nice, and we treat everyone well. And yeah, it's all a facade. It's not true. They're going to screw you over the first chance they get. I don't know. Some people think they're above it. I think it's ego that people think they're above it. They think they're secure. Maybe some other people just like it. Maybe they like the abuse. But some of us don't. And we're not just going to go work at Amazon and piss ourselves and, die. I mean, come on. People want to stay alive, and you don't have the virus contained. And you just want to open everything back up? As if that's not some obvious political tool, right? Things work in voting blocks. When people are trying to force one particular group to go back to work, shaming them. Talking about public shaming. This is the same media that's always bitching about public shaming. Literally sitting there, public shaming the people who do not want to go back to work right now, trying to make them feel like they're doing something wrong or being lazy or, mooching off the government, when this is the government that fucked it up in the first place and they screwed us over, and now they want us to go back to these shitty ass jobs. They want us to go back to even shittier jobs than we had before. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do that, even if I was offered some shitty job. Why would I take it right now during the pandemic when I could die? That's the worst time to take a job like that. If you're gonna take a job like that, you should do it in a time when there isn't a pandemic, right? So of course it makes sense that people don't want to go back to work right now. What is wrong with people that they need other people to suffer and die? Is that how you guys get, is that a soap opera for you guys? Watching poor people just struggle and struggle until they finally expire, and then you're like, wow, that's a big... It's like America is just this giant snuff film that rich people watch over and over again. I mean, you get the Illuminati conspiracies after a while, because when you do shit like this, I mean, people will start to think that there's some kind of people conspiring against them, because you're trying to send people off to work to die. And, it's idiotic to keep having to reiterate that over and over again, but that's what was in the news today, and I have to talk about idiots in the news all the time. I mean, it's almost, you try to avoid it. You try to avoid the idiocy of the news, and you try to bring something new, and you're hopeful that, okay, well, maybe today we can do something a little different. And I try to from time to time. I don't always talk about hardcore news. I throw in some other stuff because, my God, what a horror show. These people are fucking maniacs. It's the only thing they're missing is a stick with a pointy stick. Get to work, go on, you son of a bitch. Arr! That's what it's turning into. I can't put up with it. I can't listen to these morons go on and on about how they need coffee and donuts and they need waiters and, is it tea time yet? That's what I want to know. Is when are these people going to have high tea out in the street with, a bunch of frilly makeup and, what is it, that stuff that they would wear, Renaissance era, all the nice white, and the little red stuff, and, is America is the freedom of the servants walking around. It's a joke, and it's not. Wow, like, because I saw, like, there was this one report that said that we're just gonna shut down the whole street so that we can eat outdoors. Like, okay, good luck finding enough waiters. They're not gonna. Like, who wants to like? These are the great jobs that they have. We have more waitressing jobs than you'll ever need. Why wouldn't you want to work at the fabulous job where some old guy stares at you, your tits while you're leaning over and pouring him coffee? That's a great future. Your kids could come to work and watch. Hey, look, mommy's getting groped again. Wow, isn't that emasculating, Daddy? You guys are on one. I don't know what you're on. You're smoking something. It's good stuff. Thought people were just gonna run back to work. Is that what you thought? Think everyone has a little cylindrical studio that they can broadcast from, where they're cordoned off from everyone, and they can just sit here and they can work from here. Yeah, real people have to commute to work. Where are all the studies about the safety of the American public transit system during the pandemic? And you'll never hear it because they don't want you to know. It doesn't matter who it is either. They want you to go off to work and stop bothering them. So you just get sick and get it over with. Put you out of your misery once and for all. Well, I'm going to stick around, asshole, just to be a thorn in your side. Learn my face. Remember my face. I'm your worst nightmare. A worker who gives a damn about their own. Not you. You're not important to me. All the billionaires, all the money. I would love to make all the money in the world. You know why? So I could burn it all. That's what I would do if I had billions and billions. I'd burn it. I'd watch them all go up and smoke. All the different dead presidents just go right up and smoke. Nothing more satisfying than that. Earning everything just to destroy it. Because what's the point of money anyway? You don't know. It's just a thing that you want. So you can get other things that you want. And treat people like things that you want. Right? Yeah. There's 100 million Matt Gateses in America. Because that's what the money's really about. And the need to boss people around, and the need to appear virtuous while being a snake. And going about and treating people as objects. Disposable, I'm done with you now. Move on to the next employee, the next, fling. And that's what it is. It's like when you have a relationship with an American employer, it's like you're, having a fling. It's not a real relationship. It's not a real stable contractual thing. It's some little midnight rendezvous that you're having that just happens to mean that you have to piss your pants. It's not a very romantic rendezvous, but it's a rendezvous nonetheless, and it doesn't last very long. And you feel like you're just getting fucked over and over and over again. Just like, I would say like a hooker, but I think it's worse. I think hookers get a little bit better treatment. I really do. You're working man, you're hardworking, idealistic thing that you created in your head. You're everyman. You turned it into nothing but a hooker. Nothing but worse than a hooker. You don't make that little when you're a hooker. And you rent your workers out just like prostitutes. And it makes sense. It makes sense because in this country, the vast majority of our goods are coming from slave labor. So you're only one step away, you know. And I can tell you're itching to get there. This nation keeps it up. They keep normalizing this type of nonsense about, oh, well, it's odd. People have going back to work anxiety. How can you not be anxious about COVID-19 and you don't have the proper precautions taken at every single place of employment? And you know that the poor people are going to suffer the brunt of that. But you want to talk to me about how we're crazy. Whatever floats your boat, Captain. You're the captain. You act as crazy as you want. I'm not going to mutiny, but I'm also not going to do anything either, because asking a little bit too much. I'm not swabbing the poop deck, unfortunately. There's too much shit all over the place. And you put it there. And you got to clean it up. And that's as simple as it is. You get that shit cleaned up, I'll go back to work. How about that? I think it's a fair deal. I gotta stay alive for my son. I don't give a fuck. You people want to shame people for wanting to stay alive for their families. You ruthless, nasty, disgusting monsters can all go fuck yourselves. You hear me? Remember what I said. Alright. I think that's enough. And any of these assholes, they try to guilt trip you, feel bad because, you know, you got fired and now they want you back at work tomorrow and you're a little hesitant. You just remember you're right. And if you need someone to tell them to go fuck themselves, you call me and I'll tell them over the phone. Yeah, give me the number. I'll do it anonymously. I don't give a fuck. I don't like any of them. Alright, everyone. If you're not a fucking asshole billionaire asking all your employees to come back to work without fucking taking care of them first, you have a good night. If you'd like, you can support us at More Content Please at our dashboard at Anchor. Or you can check out our website, which is also available on Anchor. If you click the link, you could subscribe to our channel on YouTube at More Content Talk. We'll have some Patreon stuff coming up pretty soon. By the next episode, we'll probably have that up. And you'll be able to check out all kinds of new footage from the show that you just don't see on the normal show, as well as we have more new podcasts coming that you'll be able to subscribe to. Those will be available on Patreon. You can also find us on Pinterest at More Content Please MCP, as well as Instagram at More Content Talk. All right, everyone. Hey, remember, when these asshole bosses get you down, just remember you could always just go tell them to fuck off. Bye-bye.